freaking first cut. Golly.
Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gehman, and this is your round one recap for this week's Rocket Mortgage Classic. Joining me to break it all down and entertain my nonsense, Kyle Porter is here. KP, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome back.
It's good to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, we missed you. I think I fulfilled my yearly duty in the host chair. It's hard. It always gives me an appreciation for what you do, but hope you guys had fun.
We did. Yeah. We got a little bit of wedding time. We had a little bit of vacation time. We had a blast, but now I'm happy to be back. And we got off the rails before we even started because so as we speak right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are on the verge of making the 55th selection of the 2024.
Are they going to take Bronny? Right?
That is what I said. I was saying to Josh, I was like, are they really going to take him? Like, they're the only team that really, I guess, should be taking him. And then it started this conversation about how insane it is that LeBron has been playing this long, and he's still, as far as I'm aware, very, very good. And we were talking about how long he could possibly keep playing at this rate. And then you took it to a different level.
Yeah, keep playing, which is a fascinating conversation. And I think, like, I don't know if he will. I don't know if he wants to, but he could play for like 5 to 10 more years. I think was kind of where we landed.
Yeah,
we'll
ask your question.
Well, I want to know how much. One of my buddies asked this about. He was a big dunker in college, and he always used to say, like, I wonder at what age I will be before I can't dunk anymore. And I'm curious about how old you think LeBron will be until he no longer can dunk a basketball on a 10-foot regulation rim.
All right. So my immediate reaction is I said 71.
So okay, so hold on. So 50 years old, like, I think we're both total agreement he will be able to dunk a basketball.
No problem.
Producer Josh has breaking news. Why don't you jump in, Producer Josh? Wow.
Okay, so Chom's reporting that the Lakers are selecting Bronny James with the 55th pick. I was saying to Josh, this is obviously going to be great for him. He's going to get access to resources, the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to get a leg up, but at the same time, it's going to make it so much harder on him.
On who? Bronny?
On Bronny.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting here is the JJ Redick angle, right? Where your first job, you're 40. I mean, I'm almost 40. Like, JJ Redick's like my age. He's coaching the Lakers, which is crazy. I can barely talk about the first round of the Rocket Mortgage Classic with my friend. It becomes something that you're like, well, is this full Nick Saban? Is this what we want the Lakers to be? But it's also like so cool. It's sick to play with your like father-son duo in the NBA. That is, I remember when we were growing up and the Griffeys played together for the Mariners. That was awesome.
Yeah. And I didn't really think it could happen in a modern NBA, which is way more physical than baseball is. Guys play much shorter. Like it's going to be, I hate to say, like, it's going to be historic when those two guys step on the court together.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'll be cool. I wonder for how long it'll be cool.
Well, it won't be cool if either of them stink.
Yeah.
Okay. So 50, LeBron dunks, no problem.
Yep.
60. I think he can dunk.
Sorry, I'm going through the LeBron tweets right now. 60 LeBron can dunk. I'm trying to think of like my dad was born in. My dad's almost 70.
So here's what I'm using as a reference.
Can't dunk.
Could he ever?
He could dunk like a tennis ball in college, probably.
All right. So here's the reference point. Michael Jordan right now is 61 years old. Do you think Michael Jordan can dunk right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So 61 years old, and I am 1000% sure LeBron is going to keep himself in better shape than Michael Jordan.
Dude, Jordan looks pretty good for 60.
He does, but he is just choking down those cigars. He's out there playing golf. He's not, he's in fine wine. Yeah, he's like LeBron's going to keep himself in a lot better shape. So I feel like if Michael can dunk right now at 61, LeBron, no problem dunking at 71.
Yeah, it's a great point. I do wonder if this is sort of the era where, you know how Bryson's going to live to like 130?
Yeah.
Have we entered the era of guys just like, remember the Brady photo comparing him to that? I can't remember who it was, like Fran Tarkenton or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they're both the same age, and you're like, that looks different.
Yeah, that's
like, I do wonder if like 70 now is just like, I don't know, 60. I mean, it is, right? Like it's 70 now is 60 100 years ago or 70 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you could talk me into 70.
Okay. Well, we've got some time to see. We'll have to check back in on LeBron in 30 years or so.
You know who will be able to dunk his entire life?
Wait, don't tell me. Are you Wemby?
Yeah.
So that was my other thing. I looked up how tall LeBron was, and it said 6'9" or 6'10". I mean, 2 more feet with his arm just raised up. So yeah, yes. Wemby will be dunking on his deathbed.
I love that you come back and we're more off the rails than when you left.
I know. We got to get all the things that we've been thinking about for the last week out. Any other LeBron, Wemby, basketball, Bronny conversation?
No, it's cool. I like, as a dad, I think it's ultimately cool. I don't care about like the Lakers day to day, so I just think it's kind of a cool thing.
Interested to see how it all plays out for sure. The Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit is underway. The boys are making birdies in bunches. One of the big three, the 3 favorites went out this morning and carded a 5 under 67. That right there, Cam Young, fresh off his 59 from last week, was bogey free around Detroit Golf Club. KP, he's putting a lot better. He made a little bit of it's a different, I think it's the same style of putter, but it's like a different color, and they took the alignment off the top of it, and he's been rolling that thing pretty beautifully over the last week or so, and he's got himself right in the mix again, still looking for that first career PGA Tour victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's time, right? Like, I think one of the things that we talked about while you were gone on some of the pre-tournament stuff is this golf course has, and this doesn't really, I mean, maybe it relates to Cam Young, but it just, for whatever reason, has produced some big name, big hitting winners, right? Finau, Bryson, Rickie's not a huge hitter, but he's a big name. And it's just time for Cam Young to win. You know, it just is. And I think that I was reading some of his comments. He said afterwards, like, he wasn't hitting it very good going to Travelers. And then he kept thinking in his head, like, this is going so hard this one way, poorly. I expect it to go just as hard back the other way. Well, which I don't know why you would think that, but he did. And then he shot 59.66 on Saturday, Sunday at Travelers, and opens with a 67 here. So I just, I mean, it was really good from tee to green. He didn't make it. It's what you want if you're Cam Young with an opening round, and it's time to go win. Like, you just got to go do it at some point.
That is an interesting mindset, because it doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. And it's sort of emblematic of, I can read you the exact quote, but it's sort of emblematic of how a lot of these guys are, which is like, you're just telling yourself anything to get going, right?
It's a combination of positivity and delusion is what it is.
But that's all of these guys. Like,
of course it is. Yeah, no, I agree. That's a great mindset for him to have. I just think I did not hear that quote. That's very interesting.
He said, I had frankly kind of a struggle leading up through Thursday of last week. And I kind of just kept saying it's going to go pretty hard the other way at some point. I feel like I wish I don't know why. I feel like I've been playing some decent golf for a while and scoring poorly, and to kind of see the scores come a little bit more is really promising. So maybe he's saying that just what was going poorly was the scoring, and he felt like he was hitting it good enough for it to go the other way. But I don't know. It was kind of it was an interesting quote from him after kind of the last 10 days or so.
It is a good PSA and tip for ocean tides, because that is true. If you are by the ocean and the tide goes very far out, it is about to come very far in. You should find some high ground. That's one of the early tsunami warnings.
Is this a time zone tweet?
No, that's a very real and true thing. Take my word for it. If you're in tsunami range and that water goes out, it's coming for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Nikki Dunlap, 67 as well. And this I find this situation to be interesting as well. So let me give you his day. He goes crazy and makes seven birdies over a 9-hole stretch. He gets it to 7 under. He immediately makes double on the par 3 fifth, makes another bogey on the par 4 sixth. He does get one more birdie coming in. This is a guy, and I'm not sure if we've talked about this. The gift and the curse of winning the American Express as an amateur, which moved up his timeline potentially years. And now we're talking about expectations and taking advantage of the opportunities that are being afforded to him. It has not been a great 2024 since the win. He's starting to round back into better golf, but I find this year so fascinating because he would not have been a professional golfer if he finished second at the American Express.
I mean, if he missed that putt at the American Express, he might have lost in a playoff, right?
Right.
I think you're right. I think it is real. I also think it's interesting. We may have talked about it while you were out because he kind of popped up at Travelers as well. But it also makes a lot of sense, right? Like if you just showed somebody the blind arc of his year, you're like, yeah, of course. Like a 20-year-old who wins early and then goes out there and gets just housed repeatedly for 3-4 straight months, whatever it's been, and then sort of remembers who he is. I think that makes a ton of sense. And I'm glad for him that it's starting to come around right now and not 3 years from now or 18, whatever. Like, I think it's one of those things that if you let it affect you, it can affect you for a very long time. But it seems like he's turned it around and he's playing. I mean, he's played very good golf over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And that's cool because, man, there's some young Americans, we're going to talk about some more of them, that have real President's Cup, Ryder Cup potential. And I think he's one of them over the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, it's I imagine you got to have a good mindset. You got to have somebody in your corner saying, listen, you don't have to go out and win multiple times this year. You're going to get thrust into something that you probably were not expecting. So I root for him. I hope for nothing but the best. We have seen a lot of Tom Kim this year, and specifically the last couple of months. I believe this is start 9 in a row for Tom Kim. He has not taken a week off since the week before Valero. Is that no? I'm sorry. The week before Byron. Now he's played every week since the Byron Nelson is what his schedule has been. I don't know if that has caught up with him, but it was not a good opening round. It was a 73. That's 1 over par, which is about 2 shots down to the field. The big thing here, KP, is the 2.5 shots that he lost on approach. We did see a little bit of frustration out of Tom Kim at times. This just might be weighing on him. And after a close call against Scotty last week, it's, this might have been an uphill battle all week.
Well, there's a difference between playing and playing in contention, and one of them can drain you. The other one almost always does drain you. And he's been doing both. And I think that the added weight of playoff Scotty, everything that went down at the Travelers last week, it makes a lot of sense that he would go out and shoot a 1 over 73.
He will need something quite low on Friday if he wants to be around for the weekend. So Tom Kim will be on Cut Sweat watch all Friday long. There's been a lot of movement on this leaderboard, not only late in rounds, but late in this day, including our round one leader. We are going to talk about that and a lot more after a quick word from our partners.
We need your sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
And we're back. KP, we've got at least 3 guys from completely out of the woodworks who are in the mix at 6 under or better. I'm going to give you a choice here. You want Taylor Montgomery, Eric Cole, or Rickie Fowler, because they're all just popping up right now in round 1 in Detroit.
I thought you were going to say Michael Kim, who has not played very good golf this year. He's 6 under as well. I think Fowler's probably the most intriguing of those guys, just because of his defending, like just because he won this tournament last year.
Yeah. So the defending champion, who has done very, very little since the victory here last year, shot a 6 under 66, in which he was fairly good off the tee, 27th off the tee, 26th on approach, and did a lot of damage with that putter. 3 strokes to the positive there. It was a bogey-free round, and he put a big exclamation point on it at the end of his round, making 4 birdies in his last 5 holes. KP, this is what we saw from him last year, rolling a lot of putts, give himself a lot of opportunities. Even in the build-up to his victory, we saw a lot of this, and then nothing for basically 12 months.
Yeah, I think my question, Rick, is, sorry, got a lot going on with my air conditioner in here, but it's like been 101 every day here. It's brutal. I don't know what to make of Fowler's sort of you look back on his career and you're like, okay, it's been good. Like I think it's been a little underrated. I think people don't like, he's had a good career. Rickie Fowler's 35 years old. And I don't really know what he's going to be over the next 5 or 6 years. You know, we've seen somebody like Dustin Johnson really thrive into his late 30s. We've seen Adam Scott thrive into his late 30s. Is that going to be Fowler, or is it it's weird to imagine him as an older player, right? But that's kind of what he's becoming. And it hasn't gone very well broadly over the last 3-4 years. It went very well for a brief time last year, but it's kind of regressed to just some bad play. So I don't really know what to make of him. It was a good round. He played well for a while at Travelers last week, but I don't know. I don't know what to. He's somebody that kind of confuses me right now.
Yeah, he confuses me too, because I think what you said is important. That he was part of that Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, it was Rickie Fowler, Justin Rose, these guys that just fell off for like 3 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Day got back in the winner's circle. Rickie Fowler got back in the winner's circle, and it looked like that was going to spark something. So really, you're right in the sense that outside of 5 months, the last 4 years have not been good.
Right.
Which is a problem.
Yeah. And so it kind of makes you think, well, is this a one? But the 5 month stretch was very good. He could have won the US Open, you know? And so I just it'd be cool if it'd be really cool if he won this again after not having done anything all year.
It would I'd be happy for him, but it would drive me just crazy.
Oh, for sure. It'd probably drive him crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just wrapping up his round was Minwoo Lee. It was a 4 under 68. He had 2 bogeys on the card. He had 6 birdies on the card. As expected, he knocked the cover off the tee, and he putted well, which has kind of been his key to success. KP, I think when we entered 2024, there was a lot of excitement over Minwoo finally having his full status on the PGA Tour and playing a lot more over here. Has he lived up to your expectations?
Probably not. Probably not completely. He's been okay at times, but you know, you want to see somebody like that contend to win tournaments, and I don't know that he really has he been in like a final two pairings situation. I don't think he has.
He finished runner-up at the Cognizant. I do not remember how involved he actually was in that.
I feels like a backdoor runner-up. I don't remember him. And maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just misremembering. But even still, it's not a You know, you expect a player of his. I mean, he flushes it, and he just hasn't really. It's not that he hasn't panned out. He just maybe hasn't lived up to his own hype, the hype that he set for himself, which I still love, and I'm like way in on him in general. And I have him over Tom Kim in my matchup this week, so I'm very, very pleased with the first round 68.
Yeah, you might not have to sweat that too much longer. You might just have one more round to sweat that one out. He is in the midst of a little bit better play. So T22 at the Masters, T24 at the Byron Nelson, 26th at the PGA, 24th at Charles Schwab, and 21st at the U.S. Open. So he's living right in that 20th to 26th range. Maybe he can do a little bit better this week. He is currently 4 shots off the lead. The man that they all chase is Akshay Bhatia. And Akshay's in the midst of a very heavy run of golf as well, just like Tom Kim is, but he does not seem to be as impacted by it. He finished birdie, eagle, birdie to jump up to 8 under par, a bogey-free 64. This run from Akshay, it has been great, and he's already got a win this year. I'm not sure he's getting the level of respect that he deserves with how he's turned out to be.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to start picking guys, by the way, that were really good the week before, but not really in contention. This has happened 2 weeks in a row now with and I thought Finau would play well, but Finau going from U.S. Open to Travelers, right? He played great at the U.S. Open, but he didn't experience the weight of pressure that Rory and Bryson did. You know, he just wasn't in it like that. Same thing with Akshay. He played very well for most of Travelers, but he didn't experience the pressure and weight that Tom Kim felt coming down the stretch. And so it's just, I think it's easier for those guys to bounce back with the mindset of, hey, I'm playing great golf, had a bad stretch on Sunday, but they're not like toast, like cooked the way a Tom Kim is mentally and emotionally. Yeah. So, man, I was looking at it. Akshay's 13th in President's Cup standings.
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome. It would also be kind of like, I don't know that I would have told you, although he did just kind of jump up in the last week after Travelers, but I don't know that I could have told you that he was even that. I don't know what he was before that, like 16th or something. I don't think I could have told you that he was that high.
When do those go to?
Through BMW. So what is that?
We're almost done.
Yeah. Now I think it's only top 6 or maybe 8.
Yes, it's 6. I just pulled it up right now. So top 6 who have earned the most FedEx Cup points from January of 2023, so last January, until the 2024 BMW Championship.
But if Akshay's in the top 12, please take him. He's 22 years old.
Yes, and that would be sick.
And he's electric. Like, he's awesome.
Makes a ton of birdies. Also, the playoff events are worth 1.5 points. So he could stay on this run and continue to move up. Yeah, he's right behind Sam Burns, Russell Henley, Chris Kirk. And the guy who's currently in 6th right now is Sahith. So it's an interesting little team. I would love to see. Give me Sunday singles, Akshay versus Minwoo.
Yes,
that would be so sick.
That would be awesome. So yeah, he's. You know, you never are sure of who the first round leader is going to be or whatever, but it's not surprising that he's playing well. He played awesome last week. He's really, I was looking at his numbers after Travelers. He's really made kind of a leap this year, Rick. He's gone from being like a pretty like zero PGA Tour player, a little bit better than that, like a little bit above average, to being a 1.2 guy.
Yeah.
Which is that's getting into like somebody like a Matt Fitzpatrick, Shane Lowry type range, which is very good.
It's very good. Yeah, I'm excited about him. I'm super excited. So he is currently the leader. He is 8 under. He is 1 shot clear. There are a handful of guys who are still out on the golf course, but nobody is going to catch him. Akshay is going to be our overnight leader, which I assume, Josh, means he's going to be the favorite when we pull up the betting board, which is like this. Oh yeah, pretty big actually. So plus 330. The next shortest odds are 11-1. That's Cam Young and Aaron Rai. Cam Young, as we talked about, is 3 shots back. Aaron Rai is 2 shots back. Will Zalatoris, who we didn't really dive into, 6 under 66. He is 12-1. Fowler is 16. Minwoo and Michael Kim are 18-1. Eric Cole and Taylor Montgomery are 25-1.
I mean, I'd probably rather have Cam Young at 11 than Akshay at plus 330, I guess. I have Zalatoris to miss the cut. That was my best bet, so that's going well.
There's still time. Not much.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in love with any of this. Cam Young at 11 sticks out, but I might have a Cam Young problem. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't want any of this. I want Davis Thompson, who's 28-1.
Yeah.
Just, made a couple of sloppy bogeys, ton of firepower, has been playing great. I think this thing's wide open, dude. I mean, the scores that are out there and that the way that you can finish on this golf course, I have no problem going as deep as necessary down the board.
Yeah, give me producer Josh said Dunlap's 40. Give me Dunlap at 40 over any of this.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Not that I don't think these guys are going to win, but
yeah,
it's
the numbers are.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of golf to be played at a golf course that is going to have very little defense.
Can I give you some strokes gain numbers here,
please?
Since January 1, Patrick Cantlay 1.5, Tony Finau 1.45, Wyndham Clark 1.4, Victor Hovland 1.2, Akshay Bhatia 1.2.
There you go.
So he's not in that Finau, Cantlay, JT, Fleetwood range, but he's kind of like just behind it
and quietly, right? So he has. If you ask how many wins does Akshay have, almost everyone will tell you 0. Right?
I know.
Because he had the alternate field. I think it was Barracuda.
Yeah.
And then he won the week before the Masters, which everyone immediately flips to the Masters.
Yep. I only remember that one because he had the boots picture.
Yes.
He looks absurd getting those boots on. Everybody does.
He's got 2 forgotten wins and is playing great golf this year. And I'm not sure anybody realizes it.
Yeah. Him and Hovland have almost like the same numbers. His short game's been better. Hovland drives it a little better, but very similar. And now Hovland's having like not his best year, but still, I mean, I think it'd be very cool if he won this week and you kind of take that into the Open, into the playoffs and potentially President's Cup, hopefully President's Cup.
Be so sick. All right. Well, listen, we will be back Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night to get you the rest of the way for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. For now, big thanks to producer Josh, does all the hard work behind the scenes. That right there, it's Kyle Porter. You can find him at Kyle Porter CBS, and you can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been The First Cut. We'll catch you next time.